Do you feel like making today a roll of paper towels for your kitchen? Well, here are the things that you're going to be needing. And if you want to put a brand name, you can download a picture of it and then print it, or you can also cut it from a magazine or a newspaper. The length of the roll of paper towels is 28 centimeters. So I'm going to be cutting it, the width of it, at about 23 centimeters. I'll be using a roll of toilet paper because if I use a roll of paper towels, then the thickness of it is too much and it really is not to scale. "12 squares should be sufficient enough. So here we have all of our 12 squares. Because we're trying to get to scale as close as possible, I'm going to separate the 2-ply into, it's going to give me now 2 rolls by doing this. Because if we leave it the way it is, which I could, but then it's a little bit too thick for what we're trying to accomplish. Now I have divided it into 2. Next, I just cut a tiny little piece of paper from a brown paper bag. It's a little stiff, and this is going to work for the core, the center of my roll. And the width is also going to be 23 centimeters. And let me make sure that it's 23 centimeters on both sides, and it is not. I'm a little bit off, so I'll make it 23 and 23. Now that I have it to the right width, I'll start rolling it on my little stick here. This is a little bit thicker than an orange stick, which is what we used last week for the toilet paper, but this one of course has to be a little bit thicker. And then once I get here, I'll add glue. I'm going to make sure that I have it very well centered. And just to make sure that this is not going to open up, even though I put glue, it's trying to open up, I'll add a little bit of tape. Now, a lot of how your roll is going to look has to do with how uniform the width is. So if you can go back and measure it and make sure that it matches from beginning to end, then it's going to look more professional, less homemade. So right here, I'm going to add glue, and this is so that I can get started rolling the toilet paper around the stick, which is in a little while is no longer going to be called toilet paper because it will be kitchen paper towels. We don't want anything to do with toilet when we're working on items that are going to be used in the kitchen. So by using the stick, I have control and I can decide if I go straight. It will help me make it tight and make it look very straight. Now I'm almost to the end and I still have a lot of toilet paper left over, and I think I'm approaching the thickness that I desire. I don't want it to get too fat, so I am going to end it right here. Now if you are going to put this one on a dispenser, you might want to add a little bit of glue here so that the paper it's hanging this way. If you are going to put it in your pantry and you're going to store it away, so this will stay this way, and then usually comes wrapped in plastic. This is where my little plastic comes in. So this should be enough. But before I do that, I'm gonna put my brand. So you can cut this from a newspaper, from the advertisement you get in the mail. If you are working on a 1/24 scale, then you do the little one. My scale is 1/12, so I am going to keep this one. So again, I'm gonna put a little tape to keep it in place. Even if you leave it right here this way, it looks very nice. It doesn't look, it's very straight. But if you want to go further and wrap it in plastic, again I'm using a lot of tape, but it's not visible, so it's okay. So here I just want to make sure that it looks tightly wrapped. Not as easy as I thought it would be. I'm pushing the ends of the plastic inside my tube. And so here, this is the one that you would put in your pantry. This one I made before, but I made it too thin. So now I'm going to remove the plastic. And this is going to be the one that's going to be in my dispenser, because when you have it in your dispenser, most of the time it's not, you've used a couple of sheets, and so this one is going to be like this, so that it's in use. So let me just show you what it would look like in a kitchen. This is just a quick kitchen setup to give you an idea of what your roll of paper towels would look like once you set it up. You put it in the kitchen.